had my children, and I put out the album Starlight Starbright. And I did it specifically because I had a feeling I was going to be so exhausted, especially having them so close in age. But I still always wanted my children to have my voice, to hear that sound for them last thing at night before they went to sleep and first thing when they went, when they woke up in the morning. I wanted my voice to be calming and peaceful and relaxing, where they would put their head on my chest and hear my heartbeat, and I would just sing a song, and they would drift off to a world of dreams. Actually, maybe music is a superpower. Music probably is a superpower, because I think it was through music that I was able to connect so deeply with my children, and we made songs, all throughout their toddler years, all growing up. We still, to date, just make songs, silly songs about things, about what we're going to eat for breakfast or what we're going to do that day or doing your homework, And I think one of the most important pieces of advice that I gave both of my children were that I was never a mom before you met me. You made me a mom. And I think kids instantly think, oh, you were always mom. And I was to them. But it doesn't mean I know everything. I was a very different person before your existence, to my children. And I said to her, I was never a mom before. And so I'm going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. We're both going to learn. We're both going to grow. We're in this together. We're in this journey together. Most of this whole journey that we're on it together. And, we're going to strengthen each other. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to learn and grow from it. And I think what I learned about becoming a mother, which was shocking to me, is how natural it wound up being if you just follow your instincts. And it's not always easy, and it's not always hard. And I try to remember the moments. I think the moments of every stage are just so magical and inspirational and breathtaking. And there are times where things drive me insanely crazy. But, at the end of the day, in those quiet times, I reflect back on the moments of those days even, and look for the incredible things. And there's always incredible things. I do work very differently when I'm working on solo stuff than I do when I'm in Blackmore's Night with my husband, Richie. Usually in Blackmore's Night, he'll come up with the music, and he might even sometimes come up with a line or an idea. I'll go into another room and I'll absorb the music that he had come up with, and I'll try to touch on some of the veins of what he's talking about and craft it into a whole lyrical idea. Or sometimes I just have the free reign in there of doing lyrical stories of whatever I want, which is great. But then we go back together, and then I sing the song over I sing the lyrics over his music, and then we go into work with the producer and flesh the whole thing out. But when I'm doing my own songs, usually music and lyrics come all at once. So like with Sea Glass, I'm looking for sea glass, specifically looking for it, and the ideas come to me. When you try to force the creative process, that's the least amount of time it's going to work. When you're just kind of relaxed and open, and somehow the stars align or the planets align or whatever happens, that sort of portal in the sky opens up and beams things into your brain and your heart, and you channel something, and it just all works. And usually songs come out almost always all at one time. My husband will occasionally, especially on two songs, I believe on Sea Glass was one of them, and I think Last Goodbye was another one, where he came into the room, and I was trying to get across to my producer, who was in the house working on Blackmore's Night stuff, the ideas that I had on the song, and he was having a hard time understanding what I was saying. He's like, I'm just not hearing it. So my husband just picked up the guitar and just easily started doing the rolling chords. He's like, this is what she's talking about. Like, he was just so instantly able to click into what it was. And that's how he actually wound up doing the guitar on Sea Glass and Last Goodbye also. But for me, I think if I'm just going to grab and go as far as an instrument is concerned, I'm probably just going to go with either a Gem's horn, which is sort of a cow's horn, Actually, it is a cow's horn. And it's got holes drilled into it. But it's got this really beautiful, haunting sound to it. Or a penny whistle is just so easy to just grab and go. I could just stick it in my pocket or my pocketbook, and I'm not afraid of it being knocked around or worried about the reeds or that something's going to break. They're resilient, but they still get such a beautiful sound. So, but my go-to instrument's just the voice. It always comes back to that.